Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys some TV show suggestions. So as you know, we are in quarantine, and even though school is starting up, we're still going to be home a majority of the time for most people. So I'm going to give you over 10 Netflix TV shows that you can binge while in quarantine or whenever you're bored in general. So without further ado, let's just jump right into the video. So first, I'm going to start off with like the bigger, more well-known shows. I don't have all of them on there just because some of them are just really big and it's just like pointless to suggest it when everybody knows about them. But I'm still going to suggest a couple that I personally like a lot. The first one is The Vampire Diaries. So before you're like, oh, I don't want to watch it because it's just about vampires, there's a bigger storyline behind it, and it's really like interesting, and it's not just like vampires. Like, there's more to it, and trust me, most people who like dissed on it, when they actually watched it, it was like a whole different experience, and it's crazy, and I really recommend it. And if you do end up watching it, there's also a series called The Original, which is in the same like universe, but it is about the original vampires, like the first ones. And then after you watch that, there's also a show called The Legacies that you can watch, and it's basically about a school for the supernatural, and yeah, and it also has to do with the same like supernatural universe, I guess. And I really recommend those three shows. I am in the current process of watching the originals. I just haven't been into the binging mood recently, but so far it's been good, and like I recommend it. Next show is Criminal Minds. So personally, I haven't watched it like all the way through, but I've seen a majority of the episodes just from like my family watching it, and I've seen it, most episodes. So yeah, but I really recommend it if you're into that kind of stuff, and it also has a storyline, and it's not just FBI getting the bad guy. The next show is Gilmore Girls, and it basically takes place in a small like town, and it's about a mom and her daughter, and just like their bond and how the daughter grows and all this stuff, and I really recommend it. And again, like Criminal Minds, I haven't watched it all the way through, but I've seen most of the episodes just from like family members watching it, and so yeah. The next show, which is pretty like underrated, but still popular at the same time, is Young and Hungry, and I really recommend it. It's about this girl who wants to become a chef, and she ends up becoming like the personal chef of this really famous guy, and it's really nice, and I really recommend it. It's really good, and I recommend you watch it. And it's pretty short, and it's like a lighthearted show, so you don't need like full like focus to watch it, so that's a plus. Next is Degrassi Next Class. I haven't watched this in a long time, but I have watched it a couple times, and I really recommend it. It's high school, but it's like more interesting, I guess, than that, and it just talks about a lot of serious issues, and I really recommend it. And yeah. Next is All American. Most people know about this show as well, and if you don't know about it, it's just basically about this football player, and he's in high school, and he's like dealing with stuff. And I personally like wasn't attracted to it in the beginning because I'm not very like interested in football, just because it's not my personal interest, but it was still a really interesting show despite me not knowing a single thing about football. So if you know something about football, it would maybe be more relatable, I guess, and more interesting to you. So yeah, I really recommend it, and I think there's 2 or 3 seasons. Correct me if I'm wrong. Next is On My Block. This show is also quite famous or well known, especially with like teenagers, and it's basically about like this group of friends, and they're like going through stuff, and I'm not gonna try and give away or spoil anything, but I really recommend it, and it's really interesting, and it's like not short, but like you could binge it in a week, no problem. Well, in my opinion, but yeah. And sometimes when you want to binge, it's like it has to be a shorter show, so then it's not like too much. Like if you're gonna go binge like Grey's Anatomy, you're like overwhelmed with like the 16 seasons. So yeah. Next is I'm Not Okay With This, and it has 2 of the stars from It and It Chapter 2, and it's basically this girl and her father like passed away, and she's like really like confused about it. It's all like mysterious, and she's trying to figure out herself, and it has that sort of like supernatural sort of fictional aspect to it. And yeah, the next show, not really a show, don't make fun of me for this, but I know not a lot of people know about this, but there is Minecraft story mode on Netflix, and it's actually really interesting, and you can get the whole like first season for free, and you don't even have to pay for it, and you can do it as many times as you want, change the characters, change your choices, and it's really fun, and it actually like is nice. And I recommend, if you like Minecraft and you like that kind of stuff, to check it out and play it. So yeah. Next is a sort of lighthearted show where you also don't need as much focus, and that is Total Drama Island. It's like a cartoon, and basically there's a group of people who go to this like camp, and it's sort of like a reality TV show, but it's like crazy, and it's cartoon and animated, and it's an old show, but like it's really good, and like it's crazy, like it's just so good. And yeah, and so I recommend you watch that as well. And then the last show is also more of like a younger short show, and that is Alexa and Katie, and it's basically like these 2 best friends, and one of the best friends gets cancer, and it's basically like that whole experience and like what happens behind the scenes that most people don't know, and it's just like cool, and it's just like very interesting, and I recommend you guys check that out. But that is all the suggestions I have. If you want me to make a part 2 where I tell you more, if you want me to make one that has movie suggestions, if you want me to make one for like Hulu or other like streaming services, just comment that down below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys are staying safe and healthy, and you're drinking your water and eating your food. You guys are beautiful. Make sure you guys remember that. Make sure to like and subscribe, and comment down videos you would like to see from me next. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And so I will see you guys all later. I upload every Thursday and Sunday, and yeah, so bye.